Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys had a great night tonight. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos, obviously, for NBA. I also do other stuff in my Discord that we'll talk about in a second. All these videos, they get posted, sorry, let me check that. On this subreddit, it's called DF Sports right here. I make updates with the news if there is any news that comes out. You can talk strategy here, you can ask me questions. I'll reply to you and stuff like that, questions about the slate and whatnot. So check that out. If you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can do so on Twitter right here at Tory Langley 1992. So let's go over my lineups from tonight. It was another phenomenal day. I mean, I really don't know what to say about what's been going on of late. I really don't know, but been absolutely nuking of late. But before we get into my lineups, if you're interested in joining my Discord, I'll have a link to that below. I do in-depth content. I give you 4 players to play for main slate. I give you 3 players to play for showdown. I do private videos. I do a cash player pool with GPP and cash plays, just a whole bunch of cool stuff. A bunch of people you can talk to. I'm in there 24 hours a day. You can ask me questions about the slate, leading up to lock, after lock, for showdown, stuff like that. So, link to that will be down below. Let's go over. This is my cash lineup. Cash lineup didn't cash. First time I've missed cash games in forever. Main slate went very well. The core absolutely smashed. Marcus Smart, core play, absolutely nuked. Devin Booker, core play, absolutely nuked. Kevin Durant, core play, absolutely nuked. And then I had TJ Warren as a core play. He was massive chalk. He didn't really matter too much. So core absolutely just destroyed. And then as you can see, I have Jokic in my lineup as well. So you can see I went with Booker, KD, and Jokic. To make that work, obviously I had to play some disgusting plays. But I didn't think anyone was going to do this. So I did it to get different. Booker just criminally under-owned in my opinion. Kevin Durant under-owned in my opinion. Jokic was phenomenal. He should have been more popular too. And then I thought Jock Landale, TJ Warren were the 2 better value plays on the slate. That worked out. Jock Landale smashed. TJ Warren obviously didn't do too much. And then KCP was just horrible. I mean, he played fine, but DFS-wise was just horrible. Jeff Green, as we know, Jeff Green's never going to do well, but I had 3.3K left. I went there. Don't hate me. Please, please, please. I know I should be punished. I'm fine playing Jeff Green when he's low owned. All right? All right? I'm fine when he's low owned. When he's chalk, that's when he's terrible. When he's like 20%, I will not do it. I will not. I will not. And I also made a note in Discord. Same thing I said about Dante. Just letting you guys know. Warren is a terrible play, just like Dante last night. Sometimes you got to be a slappy to make things work in your lineup. I would also get to one of Jokic or Murray. Would not fade both. So, yeah, sometimes you got to be a slappy to make things work. Today, I was a slappy because I wanted to get Booker, KD, and Jokic in my lineup. Showdown. Big showdown, and I'm absolutely pissed. The core that I have for showdown, I forget what it was. Jokic, Booker, Warren. Originally, I had Landale core over Warren, but I swapped last second to making Warren core because I didn't want to take the responsibility of a possible DNP with Landale, so that's why I swapped. But I played both, as you can see. I played Terrence Ross, and then I just jammed in everyone. But this guy right here duped this lineup 102 times. That's why you see in 100K to first that I'm only winning $500. Because this guy, Dro, if you're watching this, Dro, if you are watching this, you are not my friend. 102 times. And then you had other people duping this lineup. You had Draftkings 07 duping it 13 times. You had other people duping it. It's just unbelievable. Do not dupe lineups, guys. Do not. Sure, you can get lucky and win $50,000 like that one guy did, but do not dupe lineups, please. It's completely minus EV. Very, very bad strategy. More big nights in Discord. I can just scroll up all day long. Really great day overall. So yeah, Discord link will be down below, but let's go over the slate. So next at Miami, you're going to hear me say this again every time. This is obviously the more unappealing game on the slate, defense-wise, pace-up-wise, total of the game-wise, pretty much everything docking it in general. Let me shut my door so I don't wake up my nephew. Pretty much everything docking this game from a production standpoint, but doesn't mean we need to fade it, right? All right, let's go over it. So you have Brunson at 8.5, you have Randall at 8K. I think both are solid options. At their respective prices now, they aren't must, they're not priority, but I still think they're okay to solid options. You're going to get close to 40 minutes from Brunson, you're going to get close to 40 minutes from Randall. These two guys are going to lead the way offensively. Like I said, the pace of this game and the matchup is not good, so it's a pretty low total, so that definitely hurts, but Brunson, he's going to play close to 40 minutes. He's going to stuff the stat sheet. He's going to have a good shooting game. He went for 40 fantasy points, shot 30% from the field. If he just has a normal shooting game, he probably goes for 50 plus. So that's what you get. You get a pretty high floor with Brunson. You get that ceiling when he's hitting his shots as well. He's clearly the number one on this team. So I still think Brunson's solid, even at 8.5. I have a feeling he'll be relatively low owned tomorrow. And if that's the case, I like him quite a bit for tournaments. Hopefully you guys got to James Harden and Joel Embiid tonight, because in my video yesterday I said they were phenomenal plays if they were going to be low owned, and they were. But let's get back to the slate. Julius Randle probably plays close to 40 minutes as well. They also aren't going to be with Emmanuel quickly, so I expect just more minutes for the main guys plus Quentin Grimes. So Randle probably just had a very, very bad game last game. Shot 4 of 15, 25% from the field. Did have 14 rebounds to go with 10 points. I believe we got into a little bit of foul trouble too. I'm not entirely sure there, but the price is up to 8K. If he's going to be low on tomorrow, I think he's a good play. If everyone's going to fade after that terrible game when he was massive chalk, nothing changed. If anything, it's better for him. They have one less body in the rotation, so the minutes are going to be very, very secure. So price only came up $200. I still think he's a good play. Everyone thought he was a good play last time. Nothing changed. If anything, better with the less body in the rotation. So Brunson, Randall, both solid plays to me. RJ Barrett at 6'8", just more of a tournament play. Minutes definitely up in the air. Lost some to the blowout last game. I think normally, especially with Quickly out, we'll probably get over 30 minutes from him. And he does have a ceiling when he's hitting his shots. But more of just a tournament-only play for me. Josh Hart at 6'3", I actually do prefer to RJ Barrett, point per dollar. I also think he's locked in for very, very big minutes, and he can just stuff the stat sheet, right? RJ Barrett's not going to stuff the stat sheet as much as Josh Hart is. So you're basically kind of like getting, I wouldn't say the same player, but a guy with a much, much higher floor and a similar ceiling for a cheaper price tag. So I do prefer Hart to Barrett. Barrett more tournament. I'm fine with Josh Hart and cash. I think Josh Hart's solid, though. Mitchell Robinson at 5.1K. I mean, this guy's always in foul trouble. I'm always interested in Mitchell Robinson just because when he does stay out of foul trouble, he'll probably play around 30 minutes. He got into massive foul trouble here. Can't look at these minutes. He would have played over 30 if he didn't get into foul trouble. And then the blowout plus massive foul trouble here, he lost minutes too. Normally, you're going to get around 30 minutes from Mitch. And now the price has come down to 5-1. I'm more inclined to take shots in tournaments just because he actually does. Like, he's the only guy around the 5K range that does have, like, 30, 40 fantasy point upside. So, more often than not, he's going to absolutely kill you because of the foul trouble and stuff like that. But when he does have that, like, big double-double with a couple blocks and steals, he can definitely break the slate at this price tag. So I do like Mitch for tournaments. And then we have Quickly, doubtful, so don't expect him to play here. I don't think they're going to add another body to the rotation. I could be wrong. I think they're just going to give more run to the main guys, and I think Quentin Grimes at 4-2 is probably going to have to play a bit more. Instead of like, I don't know, low to mid 20s, you'll probably get like 28-ish from Quentin Grimes, I would expect, which makes him a playable value. He's still going to be very, very, very low usage playing alongside the main guys, but hard to come by a guy this cheap that's going to play locked into, over 20 minutes. So Quentin Grimes is playable for value. And then I'll mention Isaiah Hartenstein. I mean, with Mitchell Robinson getting into massive foul trouble every game, he's been extended. I think normally if Mitch doesn't get into foul trouble, we get like 15 or so minutes from him, which makes him fine. And then if he gets extended from that foul trouble, he could do well. So I think Hartenstein is an interesting dart for tournaments. I think he's firmly in play. Like, would I rather play Hartenstein over where is Hartenstein? Would I rather play Hartenstein over like a Moses Moody? I think I would. Would I rather play Hartenstein over Dante? I think I definitely would. Would I rather play Hart over Duncan? Yes, the answer is yes there. So thought I'd give you a little bit of a comparison there, and I'll try to do that at the end with the with more of these guys. So let's go over Miami. I think Butler looks great here at the top once again. He's definitely my second. He's going to play, so we're just going to go over it assuming he's playing. He's definitely my second favorite spend up on the slate. AD is my clear 1A, but I think Butler right now, my second favorite spend up on the slate. He was doing great until the blowout. Didn't play much in the fourth. I think normally if this game stays close, we're going to get 43, 44 minutes from Jimmy Butler. His usage rate in the playoffs is absolutely bonkers. It's over 30%. He's going to stuff the stat sheet. He's a good defender. The only knock is the game environment, but I think Butler does look great. Bam Adebayo has just been god-awful this series, but he'll be locked into big minutes. Just a fine play for me. If you want to go there and cash games, I understand it, but personally for me, more just I'm not too interested, to say the least, but I'm okay with it. And then Kyle Lowry, Gabe Vincent, these two guys are the secondary guys that I feel best about. So Kyle Lowry got 25 minutes last game. You saw Gabe Vincent get 30 minutes. Obviously, the blowout definitely hurt both, but these two guys are the two guys that I feel the most confident in. I think both are solid plays at 5-2 and 5-3 respectively once again. They're going to trust Gabe Vincent out there. They're going to trust Kyle Lowry out there. So I like Kyle Lowry. I like Gabe Vincent. Personally, for me, I would just go to whoever's lower owned between the two. And then when you have Kevin Love at 4.8K, who is just like fair. His minutes can always get slashed. But if he plays like 22 minutes, sure, he can pay off this price tag. I just don't know if the ceiling is there with the limited minutes he's going to play. And then Max Strus at 4.6 always has a ceiling when he's hitting his shots. Been playing well of late. Just be careful here. When he's playing very, very bad, he can get benched for Duncan Robinson, so I wouldn't play Duncan or Strus in the same lineup. But I think normally we get around 30 to 35 minutes from Strus, which makes him fine at 4.6. But just know there is a bit of risk with him. And then Caleb Martin at 4.5, I think we get low 20s minutes, just a fair play. I think I'd rather play Kevin Love over Martin. I think I'd rather play Strus over Martin. And then Duncan's just a large field tournament dart for me. Warriors. So Steph, more of just the tournament play on the slate. I prefer Butler. I prefer AD. It's close between him and LeBron, but Steph, definitely not my favorite spend up, but definitely still a good spend up to me. Clay, Wiggins, Draymond, these three guys, I think, assuming they go with the same starting lineup, Draymond looks great to me at 6K. Price came down. Got in a random massive foul trouble last game. I think normally we get mid-30s minutes from him. I don't know why the price came down. He should be like 6.5 to 6.8K. He's going to stuff the stat sheet. They have to win this game here. It's a good matchup. It's a pace of spot. I really like Draymond, assuming they keep Looney off the bench. Klay Thompson and Andrew Wiggins. If you want the ceiling, I'd go with Klay. If you want the safer floor plus ceiling, I'd go with Wiggins. They both seem relatively similar to me, point per dollar. I probably prefer Wiggins, but the real breadwinner here and standout to me is going to be Draymond Green. It's hard to go to Looney when he's off the bench. And then Jordan Poole is just like high risk, high reward play. Minutes, been lost minutes due to blowout here. He played in the blowout here a little bit, so I don't know how much he would have played if the game didn't stay close or did stay close. Would have to assume he might have closed. I'm not entirely sure though. But I think we get around 20 minutes from Poole, which makes him fine. Could play a little bit more if he plays well, but I can't recommend him with confidence anymore with what Steve Kerr is doing with this rotation. And then if they start JaMychal Green, he'll play 10 minutes. I don't think I can go there. And then, you guys, as weird as it sounds, I think Moses Moody is my favorite dart of Dante Moody GP2s. First off, I wouldn't play GP2. DMP this game got run in the blowout. Only played like a minute or two and then got run in the blowout. So I wouldn't play GP2, but Dante wasn't going to play much, and then he played the whole fourth, so I'm not confident in him. The guy that I am confident in is going to be Moses Moody, who has played very, very well. He was a minus 15 this game, but he's been solid for this team. You know, his rotation's been fine. So if I was going to go to one of these bench guys, it would be Moody, but I would try not to do it. But if you really need the money, it would be Moody for me. Lakers, 80, favorite spot up on the slate. I think he looks great. If you want to go with the narrative and fade him that he's going to have a bad game, be my guest. But he's had a pattern, right? Big game, bust. Big game, bust. Big game. So what's he going to do tomorrow? Hopefully have a big game, because I'm going to be playing 80 tomorrow. But if you want to run with that narrative, be my guest. But I think 80 looks great. LeBron James just there for me. Fine. More of a tournament pivot off 80. I have a feeling 80 is going to be popular. And then I think D'Lo, even at 6'4", is like a pretty safe play. I think we get 33 or so minutes from him. He's been solid of late. He's been shooting the ball well. He's going to stuff the stat sheet. So I think D'Lo is still solid at 6'4". Austin Reeves has been garbage ever since he said he's him. But I think normally we get 35 plus minutes from him. Price came down. He's also going to stuff the stat sheet. I think he looks like a solid play once again at that price tag. Vanderbilt got his minutes absolutely nuked last game, so I'd be a little bit careful there. So only a tournament play for me. But the guy I like quite a bit, once again, is going to be Dennis Schroeder at 4-1. They just want to play him, right? I think we get over 20 minutes from him. He does have a ceiling. He's still 4.1K, so I do like Schroeder for value. And then the other guy, if you think they run that same rotation, is Lonnie Walker at 3.3K. This is what I'm saying. If I knew Lonnie Walker was going to play over 20 minutes tomorrow, he would 100% be in my lineup. Obviously, he gained a bit from the blowout, so he was probably on pace for like 20 or so. I don't know if he would have got this fourth rotation. But if you think they run the same rotation and Lonnie Walker plays 20 or so minutes, you play him at the flat min. You play him. You 100% play him at the flat min price. So that's if you think they do the same thing. Because he was out of the rotation before for forever. So that's only if you think they do the same thing. I think they do the same thing. They go back to Lonnie Walker. So I think if he plays similar minutes, he's pretty good value. And the Rui's just like fine, just a dart. I'm okay with it at 3.9K. Now the price has come down. He'll be in the rotation. He'll probably play 15 to 22 minutes. Fine at 3.9K. Now the price came down. So definitely okay with some Rui. And I think that'll be it, guys. I hope you guys had a great night tonight, and I'll talk to everyone tomorrow.